Happy 2024. I felt like something was off because we hadn't recorded a show in like a month plus. Like I'm just like, oh, I need something to do on Wednesday. I'm like, no, we're not recording a show. There's no reason. But there's no racing going on quite yet, real racing going on, but we got a lot to talk about tonight. And that's why we're starting our new season of the show early. And yeah, so this is FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Flook.
I'm Eric Richardson.
And I'm Takato.
And Taka, we have to start right away. Congratulations, you are officially the business manager for FR Racing.
Yeah, thank you for the promotion.
So, so like this is starting to become a serious thing. Like, this wasn't started as a joke per se. Like Eric and I had serious ambitions. We just didn't really think things would take off. And between our leagues, and we've got people reaching out wanting to do some influencing with us because we've got like TikTok, we're getting like 100+ followers a month the last couple of months. And yeah, it's just all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got to take this a little more seriously on the commercial front because people want to work with us. So Taka's going to help, and I can't do everything. Eric can't do everything. We got content to create. We got leagues to run, and we'll get into that here in a bit. But it only made sense that Taka fills that role because he's been hanging with us as kind of the, the quote unpaid intern. He's been tweeting. He's been hanging out with us, on several episodes, and it was only fair to make it official. So
Don't forget I think the entire 12 hours of Petit Le Mans.
Yeah, 10 hours, but
10,
yes.
Whatever, 10, 12, it all ran together.
Which, I mean, in his defense, I don't know if his defense is the right word, but the last like 3 hours of it was just him and I getting drunk.
Yep.
While you guys were driving. Anyway. Oh no, I just locked my laptop on accident. Oops. I was actually I was looking to see if I could do another breaking news announcement here on the show this week, but we'll find out in a second. But Wednesday Night Dash returned this week, and
yeah, it kicked off.
we do not have a easy schedule this time around.
And there's a good mix of new tracks to our series, and a lot of them are fairly challenging.
And we joke that Eric and I grab a couple beers and we start planning the schedule and we start laughing as we put it together. But then as we come to our senses, we're like, okay, we're not going to do like Martinsville, Dakota. That would be just awful. But yeah, we started with Rockingham, and that's tough. It's a really bumpy track. It's not very forgiving. You try to run that high line either at the beginning of a run or at the end of the run. And well, I mean, saw what happened to me. If you watch the race, got to I ate it with about 2 laps to go.
The tougher schedule does make it more fun to watch though, because it's so I feel like we have a bigger field this season, and it's more competitive.
Once everybody shows up, we're going to have the largest field we've ever had. We had some people that were out this week that I knew weren't going to make it. But yeah, we're going to have a 16+ field for the first time ever. I mean, I think we had 15 registered last time, but I don't think we ever had more than 12 a week.
And you know what? We may not be fielding a entry list of 30 to 40 cars, but with what we've seen in some other leagues, you have a field that big. Yeah, it's great, but there's a lot of crashes and not a lot of running.
We market this as something for, your iRating under 2,500. So, yeah, it's these are not beginners per se, but like less experienced people. If you want a more serious, higher competition, our friends at the Highline Racing League run on Thursday nights. They run a full length schedule, or they run longer races. They've got a lot of really talented drivers. Chad Winstead actually goes and does he's not like, he wiped the floor with all of us the season he came in. He jumped over to the high line because it was, natural that he moved over there. I mean, he's winning races over there, but he's not winning the championship. I mean, it's super competitive. Like, Yeah, I know, Eric, you've tempted, like, do I want to run Highline? Do you still think you should do that?
I know I'm not looking at running their Premier League. I was looking more at their
The
truck second series league. Just get out, run something different, and just go see how I do. Get good fields, good quality racers, and even if I'm running at the back, learn from them and see if I can move up.
The other change for Wednesday Night Dash this season was we switched to a NASCAR style point system and got away from it was basically a Formula One.
Yeah, and part of that, we're going to be running it consistently with the NASCAR series vehicles. We're in the next gens right now, but we're looking at trucks, ARCA. If we toss Xfinity in there, they're all more or less the same systems.
Yeah, so we keep that consistent. We run a same type. I think it's going to be fun, especially if we're running these larger fields. If we get ourselves up to 20 people and only the top 10 get points, that's not fun. Especially when the winner gets 26 and you walk away with 0. Yeah, that stinks. So
then we looked at it. The ARCA season, we had the old scoring system still that we finished in 2023. And we actually rescored it with the NASCAR series points. And I'll just use myself for example. I had a mediocre to pretty abysmal ARCA season, but on points, I would have actually been 4th in the standings.
And well, one thing too to take into account is that it wouldn't have changed the top 3.
No, top 3 stayed the same.
Nope, top 3 stayed the same. It was Tyler winning, squeaking out a win over Colton, and then Brian McKinney finished 3rd. The changes were, from the 6 to 10 range. And honestly, what it rewards is that, you'd have some of these good drivers. I don't want to single anybody out, but, some people would come in and they'd run a handful of races. And, if somebody came in and finished, top 2, top 3 a couple times, and then I'm down here finishing 8th, 9th, 10th every week, they're ahead of me in the schedule and it's not even close. And so I'm not doing that to boost my standing. I mean, it's the purpose is to reward the people who are showing up every week and not somebody who comes in, does a couple top level finishes and kind of sneaks in and boosts them up the points list. So that's why we did it.
It's very similar to what the IndyCar point schedule is too. And if you look at our first 2 seasons there, the point standings have been pretty close. If everybody's running races and running fairly consistent, it creates some fun, close battles. And like this season for Wednesday Night Dash, when we get to Kansas, hopefully there's a 2-3-way battle for that championship.
And I have to get the Excel spreadsheet out that I put together. I've had to do it the last 2 seasons with I build a quick spreadsheet for the people eligible to finish in the top 3. And basically Hunter in real time on the broadcast last year had to, you'd have, there would be, it was basically Colton and Tyler. And so he'd have to change it. It's like, okay, Tyler's in first. We're going to put his points in there. Put the bonuses in place. If, it's as standing, Tyler has a 2-point lead with 20 laps to go. And, it's crude, but it works. It keeps it going.
With our Rockingham this week, Colton Gardner took the W.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what do you think of that race?
It was a tale of 2.5 races for me. As weird as that sounds, the first half I went really conservative, kept it on the, I was about 3 seconds away from being lapped at the stage break. And that was kind of what I was hoping. I was just kind of, let's feel this out. Let's get to the stage break on the lead lap so I don't have to mess with lucky dog or anything like that. And it worked. So I came out there and I started to get a little bit more confident towards the end and I started to push it. And then with 2 to go, I just ate it coming out of 4. And, and I went onto the grass and I tried to stop myself and I slid up the track and smacked the wall head on. Meatballed myself, and Andrew Hewitt ran right into the backside of me.
Oh no.
So that'll be a crash of the week coming up. But from practice last night, or the night before the race, rather, we're still acting like we record this live. But the practice the night before the race it was a very unfortunate incident.
You see, I'm shaking my head right now.
Involving myself and Eric.
Hey, in my defense, I was on the apron letting all you guys go by me. Staying out of the way.
It's just basically I come out of 2 and I got squirrely out of 2. And if there'd be nobody there, I probably would have been able to save it. Not blaming you, not blaming you. But this has happened, and people had trouble tonight on turn 2. I mean, there were 4 cars that had turn 2 incidents, I think.
Yeah, I think I got a little
something like that
sketchy once, but nothing too bad.
But Eric sitting on the apron, letting everybody by before he came back onto the track.
Yeah, it was coming on from pit
road. I'm coming down onto the apron on 2, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And I couldn't get to the radio in time to like, Eric. But then you actually blinked before I hit you.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you blinked right before I hit you, and then you reappear, and then pow.
It would have been funny if I blinked and you just drove through me.
But yeah, it was good first week. We're Richmond next week.
First 4 races.
January.
It's gonna be entertaining. We got Richmond, like you said, then we go to Talladega, and then we go to Bristol.
Bristol night race.
Yeah. We don't have, other than Talladega, we really don't get a speedway until the second half of the season.
Yeah, I know. So I looked at that. I'm like, this is kind of, well, I mean, we kind of finished with that. I mean, we've got Texas.
We have a lot of technical tracks early. I'd say Talladega is, as much as it is just pedal to the metal, it's still fairly technical. You got to really be on your game there.
Yep. Oh, and then Texas, you got the Roval.
Don't have to be there.
Yeah. I went out and tried to do, I couldn't even do a lap around the Roval. I just, that chicane at the start finish line, I cannot get that timing right.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to the second half of the season, but first half should be pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching.
It's gonna be good. So yeah, moving on. We got the Daytona 24 coming up.
Yeah, we're still working on some things on that, but there's a possibility we may be fielding 3 FR Racing team cars.
3 cars. How about that? And 1 in each class too.
Yeah.
We got the GTP and the LMP2 are for sure now.
Possibility. Yeah. I mean, I might end up actually switching over to GT3.
Guys are gonna make me redo all my all my graphics that I had saved. I was just gonna reuse the graphic from the Petit Le Mans, but we just kind of put this group together of people that were interested. But it's Hunter, it's Ian, it's Mark, that are going to be in the LMP2 class. Eric, you might shift over to the GT3. Mark's friend, what's his name? I forget.
Mike, I believe.
Mike, yeah. He raced the Daytona race in June. And see if we can get him on board. He actually lives out here. And Mark and I were like, yeah, over Christmas, we're going to go have some beers. And it didn't happen. Everybody in his house.
He may jump into GT3. If all that's happening, we get one more driver. I think Colton will actually drop into the GT3.
We got Colton in there. Andrew Hewitt's going to be back running, I think, probably the GTP class. 2 guys we met on Instagram last year, actually, that I reached out to. They were looking for some teams. They were putting a team together, and it just fell apart. And someone should come chat with us. And so Jackson Wade and Jacob Manning, who the people familiar with our group don't know, Derek Booker, actually from the Behind Closed Doors, which we'll get into that league here in a second.
And actually, last year Daytona 24 race winner Tyler Vickery, maybe
Tyler Vickery is gonna be
with us.
He didn't know we were running Petit Le Mans because his team that he normally runs with kind of fell apart, and Tyler might jump in. Man, we're gonna have 3 full teams running the 24. That's gonna make the broadcast hell, man.
Hopefully, we're all.
I'm ready for it.
I'm just gonna please. I pray to the iRacing gods. I know I already asked a lot for the IndyCar license to come back, but I ask of you to put all 3 cars in the same split, please. Please.
If we're in different splits, we'll find a way to not broadcast each of the races, but bring you the drivers and share how their races are going. Instagram, social media will update.
If we have a car that has a long repair time in the pits or whatever, we'll throw up we'll be back in a moment and we'll switch sessions. We'll jump over. We'll go into that session if we have to. So, I mean, I've got it figured out. It's just.
We have 24 hours to bring you the action.
So, and I'm going to be disappearing again because my kid's birthday party is on Saturday afternoon.
And I have to watch the race times because I will also have a swim meet that day.
Yeah. Logistically, how that was pulled off last year between the team and the broadcast, I have no idea how we pulled that off. And I'm just like, this is fun. First time we've ever done something like this. The stream lasted the full 24 hours without crashing. Like, I went to bed that night and I got up for like the last hour plus to, kind of bring us home. I was fully expecting my PC to either be off or the stream crash, or you guys have crashed and the stream was just looking at you guys sitting in the pits for like 2 hours. And no, I get up, I walk over here, I walk into the room. This room was a sauna from running a gaming PC all night. But otherwise, I'm like, wow, they're still running. I'm going to jump right in. We're going to finish this out. So, got that coming up on the 20th.
We still got to figure out the splits that we're going to be running.
Yeah.
That's the big thing right now.
Yeah. So, and we got the birthday party mixed into this. This is, last year, my kid's birthday party was on a Sunday. So Saturday was planning and prepping and just kind of in and out. And the party, is after the race. So, I'm downstairs, like blowing up balloons and helping, like, make food and everything. And I got the iPad sitting on the table as I'm, prepping everything. And something happens, I'd come running upstairs and change it. It was good. It was good fun last year. We're going to do it again. And then the week after that, because that's not enough, the AFSP 200 charity race is happening.
Yes.
It's finally happening. Our friends at WJ Moldfield Motorsports really coming together big with us to help with the planning here. So go to frracingonline.com/AFSP 200 to sign up. There is still room as of this recording. And get yourself in there.
I don't know if registration's coming, but we should have picked up another driver this week.
Haven't seen it yet.
Confirmation that is probably going to happen.
Who? Name drop or initials at least?
Just somebody that I know.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Yep, I know who you're talking about. Taka does too, but he just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So field is growing.
My boss is a big NASCAR fan. I told him about this. He's like, oh, I'm going to tune in. So I got my boss at work's going to tune in and watch. Like, hopefully I don't make a total fool of myself. But so far we can announce ARCA Menard Series driver Stephanie Moyer, real life ARCA Menard Series driver Stephanie Moyer will be joining the field. We've got 2 more that we don't have quite the confirmation to announce their names yet, but if you follow NASCAR, you'll know who these people are.
You've heard of them.
You've heard of them. And we're still working on a couple more celebrity guests that we don't know if that's going to happen or not, but It's exciting. And the best part about it is our friends at Extreme Sim Racing have donated an extruded AX80, their brand new sim rig, modular sim rig. And we're going to give that away as a door prize on the broadcast. And so you make a donation, $20 minimum donation is your entry fee. If you make a higher donation every $20 interval, you get extra entries into the raffle. And there's going to be wheel stands from Extreme Sim Racing. We've got some merchandise that we're going to be giving away. Some of this merchandise is not stuff that you can buy. Super cool stuff. I'm super jealous because I'm not eligible to win. Eric, yeah, Tucker, you're not eligible to win either.
I wish I was.
I wish I was. I'm super jealous, actually.
Me too.
So, so we got some cool stuff lined up. So it's going to be a 50% race, Michigan, 200 miles, 100 laps, cautions, race control. Apex Racing TV is handling the broadcast. I wanted to do it on Stadium Scene, but when you have somebody like Apex Racing TV, who is like the best of the best, it's going to pick this up for us, that you don't say no to that. So it's like, okay, we'll pass. I'll have the Stadium Scene TV car in there for advertising purposes, but that's good. We're going to raise some money and really excited about this event.
And there's going to be some stuff available too for people that just tune in to watch.
Yes. Yeah. You make a donation as a watcher, you're eligible to win.
Earn or win some prizes that way.
Yep. Watchers. Yep. You don't have iRacing. You don't want to race with us. I mean, if I'm racing, you can too. There's no excuse if you have an iRacing account.
And proceeds go to, again, benefit AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So I'm very excited to be working with them.
So yeah, we had a good convo with their one of their fundraising directors in their national chapter about a week ago. Super excited about what we're putting together. So we got to make it happen. So we got like 2 more weeks to put this together. I walked in that. I was actually coming home today from picking my kids up from school, and I'm thinking we got 17 days before this event happens.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just felt this like stress and anxiety of like, oh my God, we're not ready.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a little bit closer to a race and post the car I'm going to be running. Got a couple tweaks to make on it.
We got Wednesday Night Dash going on. We got the Daytona 24. We got the AFSP 200. And that's not even before, that's just January. We get into
January's
February.
Fun. It's busy. February is going to kick off something pretty cool. Hopefully we keep the racing going like we have been.
The divorce with Motorsport Games is complete, basically. Probably not from a legal standpoint with the IndyCar series, but who cares? Because iRacing and IndyCar have made up.
And come to an agreement to share the license.
Woo! So we can say IndyCar again. We can't call it US Open Wheel Blank Car because the iRacing Indy 500 in May will be
back
happening
as well.
So I'm probably going to do it this year.
I will be running it as well.
So 200 laps, Indianapolis. So that's going to be May, and we got that. We're going to be doing some more Garage Talk live race days. We probably going to do the Memorial Day double again. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
I will probably be on location for that one.
Oh, that's right. Oh, no.
I think I'm actually going to end up doing the Indy triple this year.
No kidding.
I think I'm going to end up at the Indy road course race, then the Indy 500, and then the plan is to go back for the NASCAR race for the return to the oval.
That's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm curious how these cars race on the oval.
From what I've seen and heard from testing, it could be pretty fun.
It does. Yeah, it does. I didn't like the move to the road course anyway, but
not there.
No, it's just, I mean, you got some funny moments like Ross Chastain cheating. and just skipping, Kyle Larson just who did he plow into?
I don't remember.
He just plowed into somebody in turn one. I mean, it had some, Michael McDowell. Yes, Michael McDowell. His 2 wins in NASCAR are at Daytona and Indianapolis. But,
So with that IndyCar announcement, we got sidetracked a little bit.
yeah. The actual
That that allows us to do something fun and actually makes us rename
yes,
behind
the
closed
door is open.
doors.
Kick the door down.
So we can now bring you the racing action from behind closed doors and broadcast.
The doors are opened. We don't know what the
And
league is going to be called yet. We were actually talking about that before we hit record. We thought we had a name. Like, there might be some licensing issues with that. So we're still playing around.
the thing I'm excited about, the previous 2 seasons, the season championship has come down basically to the finish line and pretty much photo finishes of who wins the season title. So if that gives you any indication of the racing that you can watch now, it's going to be very exciting.
The to be determined named series. I mean, the stadium scene TV in February.
I think I'm looking at a February 20th kickoff date. Still got to finalize a couple dates. Some of it we've been waiting because we knew an announcement was coming in early January. So we wanted to make sure that we would have time to get everything set up and be able to bring you a great series.
So the other day I shared the post of the Indy announcement with iRacing onto my Instagram. And I got a text message from an old friend of mine that Eric and I went to high school with. And he's like, okay, I think I'm convinced. I think I'm going to go get a wheel. I was like, yeah. So he's like, okay, I have to ask, how much of a learning curve? I'm like, there's a learning curve. So I said, get the wheel now.
Is.
I said, if you want to be ready by February 20th, that you're not a disaster out there, get that wheel right now. And yesterday he was texting me about gaming, making sure his gaming PC was ready to go. And I told him, I said, just get a G920 or G29. You still use your 29. It's fine.
Yeah, it works.
It works. You
still sit at a kitchen table and desk. So hey.
You could be, yeah. I mean, I've got a sweet setup. I still suck. I mean, I'm getting better. I still suck.
So I can tell you the tracks are pretty much ready to be announced for our to be determined series name.
Our returning drivers now.
Returning back to Chicagoland. We'll of course make the stop at Indianapolis.
Have to.
We will visit Road Atlanta for the first time. So I'm excited to see how that one goes. We'll be back at Homestead. Then we will have a 250-mile race, this time at Auto Club.
No, sorry, I've gotta have a moment of silence here for Auto Club.
Yes.
Okay, moment over.
Side note, it does look like the dirt track might actually be making progress.
See, watch how they put up photos of the track, and there was concern that they are not going to build this short track that they claim they're going to build. But I mean, the center part of the grandstands and the start finish line area is intact. Everything else, that just hurt to see that, because that track, like, I know people didn't like the track when it first opened, and an IndyCar, kart went there. Greg Moore died in '99 at that track, and it sucks. Like the racing, that produced probably the best next gen race of the year last year, despite the fact it snowed. It snowed right before the race.
I like watching that 7 wide racing that they would do there.
That bums me out that track is not gonna be the 2 mile anymore.
Then for the second half of the season, we'll return to the Indy Road course. We were there season 1. Then we are going to visit Milwaukee. That could be a wild race.
I'm not
tough track to drive.
I have not taken a car on in Milwaukee before.
Then we continue with the short track, going back to Iowa. And then we'll finish up with Texas, the hot and slippery version of it. And then we will finish with a sunset start time for 250 miles at Las Vegas. And if it's like the last race, it was what, a 4-car photo finish nearly?
Yeah. Well,
Diving to
it
the
was
inside.
3 car. Derek was a lap down, but
Oh, right.
yeah, but it was a it was a photo finish between you and Tyler, and I was right there.
And you were right there. It was close. So it should be some really fun racing and some really good finishes this year.
So I'm looking at that's just side note. I got my so Race Labs added a plug-in interface for a heart rate monitor with Pulsoid. And so they don't recommend the Apple Watch because it doesn't take it as quickly. Like they want you to get like there's certain ones that you can like put on your chest or in your arm, but it still works with the Apple Watch. And so I still run it, and you can see like the chart tracking my heart rate through the whole broadcast, and it tells you what your max heart rate was. So you want to talk about like race, like jitters, anxiety. At the green flag, shortly after the green flag, my heart rate hit 174. But then it started to come down after that. But I was just like, man, that was the average for the race was 150, 742 kcal burned, and the intensity level was considered lively, which is kind of middle of the pack.
I feel like that'd be my heart rate when I drive any car but the IndyCar.
I mean, I just anytime I'm in a race environment, it doesn't matter if there's like I think the exception is if it's just you and me, like it doesn't spike like that. But man, if it's a group, oh man, it takes off.
I'm definitely much more confident in the IndyCars still. I've made some passes. I was like, what are you thinking? Still learning though.
Anyway,
Did you start the stream off at like 100 too? If I remember correctly, because I was listening on your stream because that was before the main stream started. I think you're like, oh, it connected. It's like I'm at 102 right now.
yeah, oh yeah, that's the pre-race. Oh yeah, like if I one of these days I'm gonna record like in the 10 minutes before I sit down, and the only time I actually like stop in that 10 minutes before is when I'm putting my shoes on. But otherwise, I'm just pacing around.
Oh.
I'm just like nervously pacing the hallway. And then I kind of come back in, and we're trying to put the kids to bed at the same time, and my wife gets mad because I'm ditching her and the kids don't want to go to bed, and you got that mixed in. And so yeah, I'll sit down and my heart rate's already in the mid 90s, and we get to qualification, and it's pushing 100. Yeah, and part of it too is my cardio sucks. Don't get me wrong. I haven't run exercised in a long time, and I've been sick for the past 2 months. This is like the best I've been in 2.5 months. I'm actually not sick. This is sinuses because everybody's running fireplaces and fire pits right now because it's cold here and cold.
Check out our forecast
Yeah.
of what's coming Friday and Saturday.
Hey, you know what? It was 28 when I woke up this morning.
It's gonna be a heat wave next week here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days where the high would be like 3 and the wind chill would be minus 15, and that would be
Yeah,
the
that's
high
next
for the
week.
day. But then when it gets to 20, like, oh, I gotta take off my coat.
I'm joking around. Well, it's snowing buckets here, or whatever you want to call it, going outside and having a campfire. So
My kid's like, can we go see snow? I'm like, no. My kids turn 6 next week. Never seen snow. Like, can we go see snow over winter break? I'm like, well, we have to drive somewhere to go see snow, but there also has to be snow to go see. And It actually snowed a little bit in North Scottsdale earlier this week, which happens from time to time, like far north Scottsdale. Like the
That's where I'm
elevation,
going.
yeah, the elevation gets up to like 3,500, 4,000 feet on like the very tip of North Scottsdale. So it can snow there, just not much and not very often. But
What's
people here
funny is
can't
I
drive.
used to live twice as high as that.
Yeah. When you get up
Joys
to
of Colorado.
you get up to Flagstaff, you're up to 7,500 feet. So I mean, it's a drive. If you know, it's I don't like that drive. I-17 is kind of dangerous. And the problem is when I-17 has an accident, the detour makes you go 180 miles out of the way.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't like traveling I-17 to Flagstaff
no.
or the Grand Canyon. It sucks. They're actually they're putting a middle lane in that can be reversed. So if there's an accident that closes I-17, they can at least funnel traffic into this middle lane and then get them around the accident and then put them back on the highway. So no more 180-mile detours back to Phoenix. So
Yeah, that needs to happen.
that'd be nice.
so 2-3 years, okay, maybe we'll take the trip up there. But I mean, the grading like is so steep when you come back. I actually drove. There's a point where I drove 20 miles. I didn't put my foot on the accelerator once. I just basically tapped the brake periodically so I wouldn't run away. But it was funny. You watch my car and it's like miles per gallon, 99.9.
I really like that. I could do that in some spots in Colorado.
Yeah, you just kind of you just have to ride the brake a little bit. And 20 miles, I'm using basically no gas for 20 miles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one thing that was fun, but unfortunately they had to stop you halfway to check your brake temperatures and they wouldn't let you floor it, was Pikes Peak.
oh yeah.
Kind of wanted to drive that one fast, but I had to stay on my side of the road, unfortunately.
But anyway, good to be back. 2024 got a lot of exciting stuff here. If you're looking to work with us, this guy right over here, he's the guy to talk to. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing some exciting things. We got two partners to welcome. We'll be welcome today. We're actually partnered with Simply Safe Home Security now. Simply Safe is actually the security company I've been using to protect my home for the last almost 10 years. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, put some stuff up on the website. You're investing in this gear, you're investing in that gaming PC. You don't want to lose it to a theft or a fire, so better protect your home.
Yes.
And the other one is Pit Boss Grills. So Pit Boss, they do a lot of work with NASCAR. They're a Phoenix-based company, so that's really exciting. They do a lot of advertising, a lot of work with Phoenix Raceway. You get your stuff. You get their grills and their smokers and their griddles. You can get them at Walmart. You get them at Lowe's. You can buy them directly from Pit Boss Grills. So they got some grill kits, like some seasonings and spices that you can put on your grill. So we'll be trying out some of those seasonings and spices coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can do it whenever. It's always
Don't
grilling
still grill.
season in Arizona. It just
Don't rub it in.
Hey, it's grilling season 365 here in Michigan too. Just how cold you want to get.
Yeah, it's just if you want to stand out in the snow and ice, it's fine. Or in the summertime, it's like, oh, I'll let's fire up the grill and make some T-bone steaks, and it's 118 outside, and you're 450-degree grill blowing in your face.
Hey, I'll grill when it's snowing.
It's never a bad time to grill. So
No.
Pit Boss Grills, excited to work with them. It's so two really good brands that have joined the FR Racing family coming into 2024. So we welcome them and expect to hear a lot more. And always we thank our good friends at Extreme Sim Racing who've been extremely supportive. And again, just really came through big time for the AFSP 200 with some amazing gifts that they're giving away. When we approached them to ask for gifts, I was expecting them to give like a pair of gloves. That was my expectations, like, a pair of racing gloves. And they're like, how about a full, sim rig? Like, wow. But also Rogue Energy. That's become a daily staple of my life. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Yep.
thing, but love them. The blue raspberry actually, I think, has become my new favorite flavor.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Blue, it tastes like cotton candy. It's the Rocket Pop is good too. I have black cherry sitting downstairs actually, but man, blue raspberry, really good.
If you want cough syrup, go for the grape. It's one of my favorites as well.
Oh, I got some questions. No.
All the flavors I've had from Rogue,
Yeah,
I haven't found a bad one.
I have not found it bad. They're all good. They're delicious. So
And they come out with new flavors too all the time.
yeah, and they have an app. They run bonus sales on the app. They'll pop up like, "Hey, you want to save another 30%? Bundle it. You'll save money there too. Use the FR Racing Online code. Save 10% right there. If they're not running a special holiday sale or a special flash sale, bundle FR Racing Online. Save your additional 10%. You're walking out of there with a pretty darn good deal. So, Rogue Energy, love it. Great stuff.
Got to give one quick shout. Not a lot of racing going on, but one of the bigger off-season events is happening. We're about halfway through it right now. And that is the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Oh, yes.
We got a few days left on those, and we've seen some big drivers in there. I think Alex Bowman drove last year. Larson's been there. Kyle Busch has been in there.
Did you see that 12-year-old kid that won a
Yeah.
race? And then he's like, "Yeah, shout out to all the hot moms out there."
Epic.
We
yeah, some lot of up and coming drivers are racing. So a lot of fun to follow along. Chili Bowl Nationals. That's a iRacing special event too.
It is. I've not done it, and I
don't race dirt yet.
I don't do dirt. It's just
I have enough cars to learn on oval.
I'm just like, you know what? I want to get better at the IndyCar. I want to get better at the Cup Series car. Dabble in ARCA. Dabble in the truck. Actually, I think it's the other way around. I'm going to get good at the truck and dabble in the next gen. Dabble in the ARCA.
Yeah, the truck and the Xfinity car are my next two after the Indy.
I'm just leaving it at that. I'm kind of bowing out of any dreams of road racing anytime soon.
I gotta keep getting better at that.
I'm like, I just need to get into I just need to get myself up there. I'm gonna have a podium finish here soon this year. I'm gonna call it right now, and I'm not saying Talladega because anybody could have a podium finish there. I on a not at the Roval. It won't be the Roval. If I survive the Roval, that'll
be the one that you podium.
Yeah, I win by default because I'm the only one out there left. Running my 15-second off of normal pace lap times, and it's walking away at the winner at the Roval. Yeah, that's. Oh man, actually no, I you gotta, if you want to bet money on the Roval, you bet on Ian Miller, man.
Yeah, he'll be up there.
Ian admitted he's not an oval guy, and he admits right there he's not an oval guy. He's a road guy. And in the ARCA series, he took that ARCA car out at Watkins Glen last year, and that's not an easy car to drive at Watkins Glen, and was right up there at the front the whole time. So yeah, if you're gonna bet on somebody, watch Ian at the Roval.
Yeah, he's our go-to guy on working with setups for our road racing.
He was so good at the at Road Atlanta too. So man, a lot of stuff. We tapped into is January, part of February, and then a special event in May. That we haven't even talked about the rest of the year. We got more time to talk. So
yeah, more fun stuff coming up. We'll have 2 race series going, and depending on how some things shake out, it might be adding another series this year. But we'll see how it goes.
Potentially, and we might be splitting the show into 2, probably. And but we'll have more details on that later.
It's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it. FR Racing is going to be going to new levels.
It's yeah, I mean it's gonna be a really good year. I mean we've made a bunch of mistakes year one. We're just trying to figure out what we're doing, kind of figure out where we're going with this. But now it's like we're getting ready for year. I mean, we're about to hit the third anniversary in late June of the formation of the entity, coming into year 4, and it's just like I feel really good about like the direction now. It's like we've got the direction. We're executing. We're kind of burying ourselves out there, and it's met a lot of awesome people along the way. I mean, we have a Discord with like 60 people on it. We got people we talk to on a daily basis in there that race with us. I mean, we've got cool merchandise like this pint glass. Get your own get yourself a Garage Talk coffee mug, which usually that contains liquor, but
And if you're watching and you run your own podcast or have your own little company and you want to get stuff out there, we are looking for race sponsors or series sponsors. So be more than happy to talk to you about that, help you out,
yes,
you and your business.
very affordable too. Good
Yes.
return on the investment. So get in here early, because once we take off, I was actually looking at pricing out radicals the other day. I'm like, yeah, this looks like fun.
I want a go-kart. There's a track up in Lansing.
I have a kid who wants a go-kart. I have a kid
Very
who wants
fun.
I have a kid who wants to go-kart. I have another kid who wants to work on the go-kart but not drive it. And I have a wife who says, I don't think so. And I said, fine. It's a discussion point for another day. I was accused of trying to live vicariously through my children, which is not true. Not true. I'm not one of those parents. This
Helping build the brand, and FR Racing is going to get them into a seat.
The Andretti go-kart, indoor go-karts open soon, and my kid's going to be too small, but they have a junior track for kids like 4 to 7 or something like that. And she keeps asking, when's it opening? When's it open? I don't know. It was supposed to open last summer. I think it's supposed to open in early February, but she's like, when it opens, we're going. I'm like, there's no objection from me.
Next time I'm down in Orlando, I'm gonna go to the Andretti one there.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's not just go-karts. They have like laser tag and bowling, and it's a full like family event center if you're not interested in karting. But you have a 3-story karting track. So I'll get my kid out there on the junior. If she doesn't lose interest on it, then okay, maybe we could talk about buying a junior kart. Maybe for the 16th birthday, she can get her F4 license.
There you go.
Or actually, that would be fantastic. My kid gets an F4 license before getting a driver's license. That would be living vicariously through my children. But
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the school to get your F4 license is 10 minutes away. So it's not going to be much, not a far trip. If my kid wants to race F4, I am 100% behind you. The FR Racing brand is 100% behind you. I said, okay, we'll get you in there. We'll go to COTA, do the COTA race. We're gonna have to get down there, Eric. You're gonna be on the pit stall with me. That's gonna be that might be FR Racing's debut into actual like legit racing. Is we're gonna be sitting on the pit box coaching my kid.
Hey,
That'd be cool.
That happens. I'm there.
That'd be a really cool story to have.
Well, like I said, hey, there's a track south of here that they race radicals on there. Just a bunch of like rich executives. They buy a radical and they go down there racing their private track.
If you need me on the box, I'll be there. If you need me up top spotting, whatever you need.
I'm actually terrified of. I actually know somebody who races radicals in the area. It's like, yeah, you want to try one? I'm like, no, I don't want to try one. I would love to try one, but I'm absolutely terrified of destroying it.
I would jump in that thing in a heartbeat.
Yeah, common sense is telling me don't do it. Every other part of me is like, yes. How often do you get options to get into a real race car and go drive? The answer is never, almost never.
Famous words of Ricky Bobby. I just want to go fast.
I just want to go fast. I mean, I've taken my personal vehicle on Phoenix Raceway. I've done an IndyCar on Chicagoland Speedway in real life, but that barely counts.
I think two things on my bucket list. If I could ever do them, I'd be thrilled. One is taking the IndyCar around Indy. And at least be moving fairly quick. And then
Not
ride
the
shotgun.
not the two-seater. You
No,
gotta be
not
by
the
yourself.
two-seater.
No two-seater.
I want to drive. And then ride shotgun in a fighter jet.
I am satisfied being on the pit box of the car I own at Indy. I don't have to drive it. If I'm sitting on the pit box and we have ownership in that car, I'm good. We could finish dead last and I don't care, because it's like I'm out here, we co-own this team, we built this team up, we've entered into the Indianapolis 500 in whatever year. I'm going to say, okay, mission accomplished. I mean, win or a top 5 finish or something like that, that's just icing on the cake right there.
Yeah, if we get to that point, there are two things. One, I'm going to want to be competitive and keep finding a way to move up in the field. And two, if we own a car, I'm driving it at some point. If I have to, I just won't tell you when I do it. I'll tell you afterwards.
Now, here's the thing is, you get to be an owner of an actual car. Are you going to be like Rick Hendrick, where even like Jeff Gordon still calls him Mr. Hendrick? Like, you're the vice chairman. You've worked for the man for 30 years. You can call him Rick. He's not going to get upset if you call him Rick. You're not 23 years old anymore, a rookie with that terrible mullet and mustache, Jeff. You're the vice chairman of Hendrick Motorsports. You don't have to call him Mr. Hendrick.
I'm sure I'll probably just end up being called coach around the shop or something.
Coach.
It's what I hear all the time now. So
it's hard for me not to say that.
I know that's going to be a weird adjustment. No, you don't have to call me coach anymore. Actually, I had a worker at work who called me Mr. I'm like, no, we're not starting that crap. No, nobody's calling me Mr. anything.
Sign on my door is going to say, call me Mr. and you're fired.
Anything
else I will be okay with.
You call
literally
me
anything else.
You call me Mr. and your scholarship is gone. And the scary thing is, like, I've reached that age where we've got people in the professional workforce who are like half our age.
Yeah.
That sucks. Like that was a reality check when I met this guy that was hired. I'm like, how old are you? He's like 19. I'm like, oh my God, you're half my age.
Yeah, just so you know, I stopped counting like 15 years ago. I forget how old I am at this point because I don't feel it.
I don't feel bad. I feel actually really good. A lot better than I thought I would at this point in my life. I mean, I figured I'd probably need a new liver at this point. I feel really good. It's just the age thing terrifies me. And I'm really struggling with the fact that it's like I'm almost 40. And I've looked at Mustangs and I get that's not an appropriate family car. I said, I don't care. I'm having a crisis here. Oh, man.
I still got one more milestone before I stopped counting. So
I think I stopped around 25.
Yeah, 25 is the milestone I'm counting
once
towards.
I got to rental car age, so it was like, after that, it doesn't really.
There's nothing to really look forward to.
20. Well, I mean, unless you're Max Verstappen, who got turned away from running a Mercedes because he's too young.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, we went way over again, even though I said I can't, but that's what happens.
It's all good.
FRRacingOnline.com, at FR Racing on all social media, including some of the more obscure ones out there nowadays. We're back streaming again. We're racing Wednesday Night Dash next week, Richmond. Next weekend will be the Daytona 24. We're gonna try to bring somebody on from the the endurance team, and we gotta get some people. We gotta get the WJM guys or somebody on to talk the AFSP 200, and I'm gonna probably want a nap at the end of January, and I'm not even driving the event.
A well-deserved one too.
Hey, I mean, it's broadcast.
Geez,
Like
wild.
you think I'm just sitting here drinking beer, which I am. I am sitting here drinking beer, but it is hard work.
It is.
So I have an AI race director this year to help out, so that should at least keep things interesting when I walk away.
So crazy. In a 10-day stretch, we will have driven Daytona 24, a race at Talladega, the charity race at Michigan, and then cap it off with a night race at Bristol.
And then before
In
all
10
of that,
days.
in the 3 days before that, we'll have a race at Richmond too.
Yes. So lots of racing coming from FR Racing in a 2-week time frame.
Oh man, this is it's gonna be a packed month. So thank you again for all your support. We're really excited coming into 2024.
And congrats to you, Taka.
Yes.
Thrilled.
Now make us some money.
Thank you for adding me on the team. I really look forward to working with you both a lot more, and hopefully having a great 2024. I'm excited to see what I can do to.
Yeah, we got some feelers out and some initial conversations with some some potential partners that we want to work with. So got a couple others in our pipe dream category that are I think are realistic. We're not going to Coca-Cola. I mean, obviously nobody would talk to us there.
No.
But there's some other people out there that aren't Coca-Cola level, but still I wouldn't be ashamed to promote their product. And ultimately, in the end, that's all this is we promote products and we drive cars, fake cars. And we want to turn into real cars someday.
Auto racing, fast moving billboards.
Yes. I think one of my favorite parts of Talladega Nights is when they're showing that, like when they're doing the commercials and like Maypax, the official tampon of NASCAR. And he's doing like the Japanese candy. And if you don't chew Big Red, you. Yeah, all right. Final thoughts. I'm gonna shut up now.
2024. Let's see what we can do. Let's have some fun. Thank you to everybody that listens and follows along. If you have suggestions, let us know.
Good or bad.
Yes.
I was wondering when I posted the we'll save it for next time.
Stop talking.
I'm done. We're done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.